And we're back here. Mirage set to get underway between Nouns and Mythic. Mythic looking good to start off last map, and then suddenly they weren't at all.
Yeah.
Part of it is that Nouns, I mean, really just warmed up into it, right? Nouns were fighting isolated early on. They weren't having a lot of success. They weren't looking particularly on point, and then they dialed in. And once the half switched, I mean, they didn't drop a round. They didn't drop a single round in that second half. T side of Overpass, that's a great showing early in the season for Nouns.
Yeah, after being down 6-3 early on as well, they went on a 13-1 run. That means Mythic only picked up one round in the last 14. George is going to get one, 60 gets another, and Nouns continue their dominance from the previous map's T side on to this one on Mirage here. bwills is going to drop Flom 4v2, and now 60's got twice, probably dead to rights. There you go.
Yeah, well controlled. As soon as you get the kill on B, this round's essentially over. It's a desperate situation for Hate, and 60 won't even let him get near the site. Nice pistol round for 60 as well. He's a player who you really would like to see warm into it if you're in the Nouns camp. Early
Yes.
was a slow starter on Overpass, and, well, we know what he can do here on Mirage. It's kind of been his home turf historically in his career, so it's a nice one to see. George, though, man, George was lights out. Cynic outstripped him towards the end of that map, but particularly early, George was a huge engine of Nouns' CT side.
Yeah.
T
I think
side.
George was what kept them in it, right? In the first half, and then Cynic just awoke towards the latter part of that one to get crazy entries on their T side. I mean, there was 6 frags in 2 rounds at one point where he was just dominating the 1v3, of course, which he clutched out to ensure that Nouns would stay undefeated in that second half. Really well done from the IGL for Nouns. And he finished with 29 frags, Mike, and 116.7 ADR.
Ooh, Cynic and George. Nice entries going in here. Players were highlighting early on. Looking good right off the rip, and this one could turn into a save. Indeed it is. Flom's just trying to get some damage here from Galwalk without finding that kill on Cynic. That's not going to coax anybody forward, and Hate was even the only player really in the vicinity to do anything about it. So they'll take what they have and try and take into the next round. Nice kill from Hate. Maybe the gun can be retrievable on Catwalk. bwills is hunting. Don't want to lose too many bodies here. But 60 will prevent that from happening. And now best case scenario is Twice finds a gun. Just the one. It's got a smoke, 2 flashes. It's certainly worth saving through. And that's what they'll do.
Yeah, 60's very comfortable on Mirage, as you alluded to, Mike. He's already got 5 frags here in the first 2, and that's, of course, on an anti-eco here. But still, it's always great when a fragger that you want to see kicking things off once you get onto your T side, get things going early. 60 is the one they rely on for some entries, although I'm not sure if that role is going to shift, right, Mike, because he's obviously using the op now as opposed to the rifle. But obviously you can still get those opening frags with the big green as well. George going to get a nade tossed immediately in towards mid. Mythic on to another eco. And Cynic's going to immediately try to open up some space towards that A site. He spots out Cooper a ticket, and he continues to slowly but surely go in here. Wants to be methodical, doesn't want to rush things. And Nouns will eventually take control of this site as Mythic only have 1 player here, and no longer. Cooper's gone. Reinforcements are here, but it could be too late.
Like it might just be Cynic. Only gets 1. A little awkward. Nade will chase. Nicely done. bwills finds it. And again, new objective. Get Cynic's gun and run.
Oh, jeez.
The bomb's not even planted yet. John, this has gotten way too weird. And now, actually in a tough spot. This round is potentially viable.
Those 2 shots from Twice. Oh my goodness. Great Deagle shots coming through, and now, like you said, very much within reach for Mythic. I think there's also, speaking of within reach, a gun, potentially.
No, it got blown
CT.
back, I think, by the AGs.
Oh, no.
Back in
That's
towards
rough.
site. Yeah, you could see it right by the triple blocks. That's a bit of a bummer for sure. I actually wonder... I have 0 evidence for this. No, they're just further back. I was gonna say I wonder whether some of those nades were thrown to blow the gun back, but no, I don't think it was.
No,
I just don't think they fell quite as far forward as I initially thought. Either way, no harm, no foul recovery from Nouns.
Yeah, Good job from Nouns to close that one out. 3-0 in their favor, but here comes the first full buy-up for Mythic, and the AWP, it's tossed around between Cooper and Flom pretty evenly. In fact, at least it was last season. 53% of the time Cooper is using it, 47% of the time Flom was using it, and it appears to be, at least in the early goings, Flom wants to rock the op. Where will he position himself? Likely towards mid, and that is exactly where he is. Can he hit the opening shot is another question. I don't know if he saw the feet of Cynic cross over to mid boxes.
Nope.
I'm assuming not, since he's not looking there.
Yeah. Molotov even comes out. Where's the comms? Where's the comms? Oh, no. Missing that shot means that Flom is a dead man. He probably was a dead man either way, but doesn't get the kill. That's unfortunate for the investment there. Because he wouldn't have seen the Molotov, but presumably someone else did. Actually don't know that for sure.
I'm surprised he missed a shot on 6. He had a clean opportunity.
That was a sitter. That was a bit of a sitter. Can't be missing those. Nice trade. George setting up the kill on connector, and now with that one. It's really dire. Players isolated towards either site. Make that gone completely as Cynic is ripping heads in this one. This could be the ace on for Cynic. And you know they're going to let him hunt. Especially since he's the IGL.
This feels like an entirely different Cynic, Mike. Well, that's a good shot. Yeah,
that's
bomb dropped here.
Oh, don't give Cynic a fight. All the players you want to give a fight. Here's the thing, though. Look at the positioning. They actually need Cynic to stay alive and get the bomb. If he dies,
plant the bomb and
would get real awkward. Twice seems to know that Carson's in here.
Or does he?
He seems to have a pretty good read. Yep, there's the spot. There's confirmation. So this brings it down to a 1v2. He is going to get pinched, though. Backstab from bwills. This might not be something he expects, especially with that bomb now going down. But position revealed. Twice. Looking kind of deadly. bwills doesn't want to give him the fight. He backs away.
Yeah, I think they've got this one now. But Twice making it interesting. He's a very solid player, and he continues to show that here, both on Overpass and in the early goings of Mirage, but Nouns should be able to secure this one. Fourth one comes through. Cynic still wants a chance, a crack at that ace, but Twice continues to tuck himself back in towards A, and bwills will go down. So Cynic doesn't get the ace, and in fact, he's the only one left standing, but still, like I was alluding to, Mike, before that got kind of spicy, thanks to Twice, Cynic has certainly turned things around in such a big way to kick off this season. There were a lot of question marks around him and his performances as of late, but I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that him back on the rifle is absolutely the right choice.
Yeah. I think the results are tough to argue with. The impact has been massive. Twice! I like this. This is a good way to put the one rifle to work, and Twice will immediately deliver results. 2 huge kills. But here's the thing. B-site's all but given up. Problem is, bwills needs to get back around to that bomb if he's going to bring it over. I know Twice is going in to reinforce. Turn on. Finds a bit of damage. Here's Freakazoid who's finding more. My goodness, this round's getting real interesting. All kinds of wild and weird, but bwills finding that kill in mid makes life a little bit easier. Still got George enforcing presence on site, but there's no reason they actually need to commit into this. And with presence being shown on the market, yeah, there's the comms.
Yeah, that was a good comm.
George is saying, don't come here. They think they have me hemmed in. They do, in fact, have me hemmed in. But just plan A.
I think it's even a better play for George not to show face at all, right? Bomb gets planted and he gets a clean flank.
Well, they knew he was here. They knew they had him in towards mid. So he is taking these fights, and it's going to work out. Leaves Flom on his lonesome. Flom's battling, knowing that he has to clear out George if he's going to try and go for this round. And, I mean, clock alone, George is buying so much time for his team. I don't fancy this if you're Flom.
Yeah.
He's going to save.
No, and I guess, I mean, one way or another, waiting for George was the right play. And obviously they knew he was there, but sometimes, you know, the pressure's on, you rotate back and you have to get that bomb, recover the bomb site, right? So either way, works out for George. Good work. And bwills using the information that George gained to find himself a round victory. And now so far undefeated, going back to that second half on Overpass.
Well now, Mythic. They rocked this double up once. I don't think they ever got it back out. Didn't work out great on overpass. But here's the round. Flom and Coop. Coop is yet to ring up a kill on this map. Used to him being top of the board for this Mythic squad, so time to get going. Look at all this space gained in towards mid. Cynic's going to be in the ladder.
This is surprising to give up mid this easily.
It's ridiculous how quickly Nouns have taken the ground, too, knowing, sensing that there wasn't resistance, I guess, a hail of smokes, and a lot of this utility play call seems to be designed to have gotten Cynic in towards ladder. Now, Cooper's going to have to respect this position. I mean, you can't realistically clear this. I guess, theoretically, Freak could throw a flash for him, and he could try for the peak, but that's so tough to do with the op. As soon as he pops a shot, you know Cynic's going to be on this. Going to be all over this. First shot exchanged. Want to peek back in. 60's thinking about it. Put a smoke up. We'll slow him down. And the utility's been pretty good for Mythic so far. They're running out of nades, but they still got 2 smokes. They can stall out a take for quite a while. Nice first kill for Twice. Here we go. Yeah. George out of play. They've gained jungle, though. That's the big problem. bwills up onto the Tetris. Hate's now in a world of trouble if they check him. And they don't. So Flom rings out with that AWP. It's just going to be the jungle players now, and the ops come to bear. A sandwich of ops, and that's not what you want to be the meeting.
Oh, wow. I mean, look, Mythic doing a great job. Like you mentioned, Flom over from Ticket and Cooper all the way at Cat, pincering in the Nouns players and taking them down quite handily. 4 op frags coming through in that round. A timeout's going to get called potentially by Nouns there, because that was a very nice response from Mythic. I mean, honestly, I saw George come through and you talked about jungle control being game, but I think he just tried to force the issue a little too much coming in from connector. He goes down, and even though Nouns gain the space, they walk into that lethal crossfire as mentioned.
So for Nouns, back to the drawing board. The money, gone.
Yeah.
The round, lost. And a double op now to contend with on the other side. They're going to go all the way in here. They've got a couple rifles. They've got some techs. I'm reading. For my magic ball, crystal ball, I say B play. Fast B. I'm feeling pretty good about mine, but let's see. I feel pretty good about this. Yep, here comes the pops. Here comes the pops. Flash thrown. Good luck, Cooper. Utility's going to come in, and they do not care. They are out. Look at all this space. Look at all this ground gained. And okay, Freak and Cooper going to bring back a couple. They hold up well. They avoid giving up the early casualties. That's what you're looking for if you're Nouns. You're looking to blind up a player and rip ahead as you make your way into a site. Trying for the plant here. That's a good trade, but it continues to go on down the way, and Flom seals the deal.
All right. So, Flom waiting, and he's going to get the shot onto Cynic. The double op was lost in that previous round, but it won't matter too much given that they're only going up against pistols. And bwills, okay, gets one and a second with just the Glock.
Oh, no.
Hold the phone.
Not like this.
As they're going to gain some space towards A.
Oh, they've got B for free.
And they've got B.
Oh, no. Not like this, Mythic. Not like this. Come on now. Bomb's going to go down. I mean, there's nothing that can be done about that at this point, and George even slinks away with that A1S. Oh,
he might
God.
save.
Freak is realizing. Freak is realizing. Oh, no, guys. Oh, no. We've full rotated. There are 2 sites. And now, I mean, close up here. Look at the positioning for 60, right? A Tech 9 might as well be a shotgun at this angle if you're hitting heads. You got Carson back bench. You're going to have George coming up from the catwalk. This is going to be so risky. First kill. Whoa, that could have been The silencing blow. Carson does get one. The M4's on the angle. They've got a cross, but no armor means George disintegrates. Recovery is there for Mythic. Still a bomb plant allowed means this is a successful round for the Nouns.
Wow. Honestly, that could have turned into a save at any moment for Mythic. They lose one more body and it's over. But they kept on pushing forward and Hate delivered the frags. But yeah, that was mission accomplished for now. There's no question, Mike, because of what they brought into the round. They get the bomb plant. They have a full-on buy now. And Mythic, their cash is in dire straits. They need to be very cautious here into this one. And I mean, Hate with 4.2k and Cooper with 3k actually doesn't make it that bad they lose here, but still, that round should have been cleaner. Cynic flubs an 8, but that's not going to be too big of a deal because he was just trying to create a distraction towards mid. Most of the presence, in fact, 4 of the 5 players are leaning towards A. And Twice throws a smoke for himself a ticket, gives himself a one-way. And he will fall off of ticket eventually and gain more ground onto A. He wants to be that forward positioning. Wants to gain that forward positioning.
Tyler Weiss going to withdraw the firebox, caught repositioning. No one else to support. That's a tough spot to be in. Utility going to sail out. The smokes are deep, so there's players past it. Withdrawing should allow the bomb plant to go in. George, you have the bomb. You can't go in towards jungle, but okay, if they kill everybody, you can go wherever you want. Bomb down. Plant achieved before the smokes fade. That's so important. A CT smoke thrown to give a little bit of room to operate around triple here, and that's going to net a kill for Hate, so well done. Problem is you got this triangle. If they can take care of Freak, they can't. I was going to say the defense in the post plant holds, but now big questions need to be asked, and Cynic knows it. He's trying to just get this molly down. Just trying to deny the defuse, and the smoke will come through. It's all about the spray. Flom, at some point, needs to tap. He's running out of time. He's running out of block here. They can keep him off. Yes, they do indeed. It's a 6th round on for Nouns.
Thought for a moment Flom wouldn't be able to find it in the smoke, I believe. He thought it was a little closer than it actually was, and eventually does stick it, but it doesn't matter. Carson's reason for the smoke, and another timeout going to be called here. But a good job by Nouns executing onto that A site. Looking at the money here for Mythic, talked about it being a little bit tough in that previous round. Cooper's already invested all of it into an A1S, drops it for Hate, who gives him the op, so actually will be okay on the force up with a couple of MP9s in the mix here. Not ideal for Mythic, but something to work with at the very least, and Cooper's going to be the one, as mentioned, on the op instead of Flom now. Pretty even contributions across the board on Nouns so far anyway on Mirage.
It's one of the nice things about their T-sides, right?
Yeah.
Is they do tend to play a lot of different roles and shift things around in terms of positioning that everyone can deliver. Firepower-wise, you expect everyone to be able to deliver on this team, especially up against a Mythic. Cooper. Woo, there's a freebie. There's a bomb. Checking underpass. Carson gets shot. Full on in the chest. He's down and out. But at least that bomb was not in the line of fire.
Lackadaisical in terms of positioning there for Carson.
Speaking of lackadaisical.
Yeah. Cynic punishes Cooper. And, well, things have been evened out now.
Now it's big trouble for Twice. He's got no utility. He just has to do this with a FAMAS. And as soon as he goes down, well, now Freakazoid's there to support. But again, that's just an SMG. There's no util for this Mythic side. They risked a lot on this round. And, well, Twice is going to get one. But his position now known. Yeah, he's not long for this world. That's a bit of an easy one. bwills, I would at this point like him to be getting a little bit closer towards that bomb. Starting to creep up. Wants to control the mid rotations, and fortunately getting the kill on market now means that this position is going to be one of enormous strength. If he checks. Flom's giving him the slip. The round's not in question. I don't think Flom even really has time, considering the full 10-second defuse he'd need.
No, he doesn't have time. But still, I'm surprised bwills wasn't checking mid.
But either way. It is going to be a round for Nouns, and at this point they found 7 rounds on their T side. It's already looking quite good.
Yeah, I think it's just too much of a risk there for Mythic, the investment that they decided to make. It would have been better to go for a half buy in that situation, have a little bit of utility to work with, and force Nouns back. But in that situation, they didn't have the util, the Molotovs, to slow them up on their attempted hit of B, and they lost all the fights, except for Twice, of course, getting one with the FAMAS. But like you mentioned, once his position is known, it's an easy swing for Nouns to get the immediate trade, and that's the round. So 7-3 for Nouns, one more round in their favor, and they will take this half effectively. And it could be happening right here, as the only gun saved over from that previous round is the AK in Flom's hands. Everyone else onto pistols, but at least they upgrade the body armor. So things could get spicy here. Should Mythic find one with that pistol and go aggressive into Palace? The thing is, Cynic has spotted out what happened here, and he does get one, but Hate finds the trade onto bwills. That's the rifle upgrade they were looking for. Twice gets 60. All of a sudden, we have a 3v3 here, and Cooper walks through the smoke and gets taken out by Cynic. So, back under control for Nouns. Still a chance. Whew. Yeah, they're fine, but it's still a nice effort there from Mythic, charging into Palace, going 3 players in that direction, managing to get 1 frag, and then things get really spicy onto A, but Nouns are good for it. They settle things down, they win the round, and like you said, their economy, it's going to be just fine on their T side. In fact, they are bringing the op into 60's hands, who hasn't really had that much of a chance to use the big green just yet, as you would expect on their T side, but we'll see if he can ring true here. Oh, Cooper charges into the apartments and gets one on Cynic right off the docket. Yeah. Oh, that's going to make things tougher. Flom doesn't know, though. George trying to clutch. Stoney gets one, makes it a 1v1 up against Freak, and then, oh, just barely misses on collecting the last one. Hits the headshot, but it's the A1S, and that's not good enough. Freakazoid will be able to defuse this one, and Mythic are finally back on the board with a 4th round. But again, it was so very expensive, and that means their utility along with their buy-up is going to be a little dicey heading into round number 13.
How are we doing now? All good? All good. All right. Mythic. Up against the ropes. Looking to put a reasonable CT side together here, and realistically, they want all of their main. Nouns. No. Just a little push. A push here. And that's going to be Hate taken out early. That might be the first push here to start an avalanche. Trying to retake the space, but he's just flying out solo. The smoke's completely isolated him, and now this is looking completely disastrous. Twice has gotten into the ramp. That's the only space they gained. He could maybe catch the bomb in rotation, except 60's coming looking for him. So now, well, Carson's going to be on high alert. It seems like he's probably going to get back to backstab here in a moment. Okay, good. Twice trying to create. That kill was just a matter of time, but now a 1v3 for Freakazoid. Let's see. Can Freak roll back the years? Freak. Make this happen. Got plenty of time. Bomb's not planted yet. But it will be. So defuse now required. Cynic working his way over from the B side as well is the end to this round. That's the timer that Freak has to deal with. Only problem is he doesn't know it. And Cynic will, in fact, get the backstab kill. No problem. 3 kills in the round. A massive one for Cynic. And that is devastating for Mythic here at the close of the half.
Yeah, Cynic's starting to separate himself from the rest of the pack now. 17-7. Leads the entire server by at least 3 frags over Twice. And speaking of Twice, he's managed to find his way into some really cheeky positions. He's having impact on rounds, getting frags, but there's really no one else behind him able to help out most of the time. And that's why we're seeing Nouns get on a pretty crazy run right now. Already up to 9 rounds. Looking to make it 10 here, and just pistols for Mythic aside from the scout. Good flashbang tossed, and there's the opener. Hate finds bwills, and that will be an AK upgrade. Now looking towards Palace, and, well, now to be quick to respond. There's one, a second. Hate manages to get one with the AK he picked up off the ground for a second frag himself. Now we're evened up at a 3v3.
Gonna catch the ankles and no armor. Hate's trying to pogo stick, but
What?
oh my god, Hate! What a shot that was! What a shot! He's gonna get another! They just can't kill Hate. They can't keep track of him either. He's found 4 kills in the round. What is happening here? So this should have been an absolute sure thing. Instead, somehow Hate has become the unkillable man, the immortal of this round. And Hate's even gonna hear 60 rotating out here, so there's a chance for him to get activated. 60 wants nothing to do with this. He's out of there. Cooper will be able to pick up a gun upgrade, presumably. He does indeed get the AK, and he's going to try and beat 60 over to B.
But is he going B?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah? Yeah? You think so?
Yeah, it seems like it.
All right.
Posturing says yes. 25 seconds. He may not realize that he's been hurt, and indeed, backing around the angle, that's going to be devastating. Cooper just holds it. What a round from Hate. Where did that come from?
Wow, look, I mean, I think Carson got a little too eager on the trigger finger because he probably could have seen more than just a couple of toes there on the peak from Hate if he just waited a couple more seconds. Instead, he sprays him down to 4 HP, cannot finish the job, and Hate pops him in the dome as soon as he tries to drop down and just does an incredible job individually to bring Mythic back into that round, and not only that round, the half, as they've got a 5th here and looking to keep Nouns off of double digits. Crazy performance, and that was just with pistols, right? And the scout.
60. Trying to get a shot here. Cynic trying to take the space, and okay, there we go. Nice kill found as Nouns look to put one more round on the board here at the half. The flashbangs are unrelenting. There's no space for Mythic, and Cynic has just demolished this defense. The retake's not even a possibility. They can't even get into the same zip code as this bomb site. There's just no mercy. It's all in a Freak. 60 will catch so much damage. He's come through, and Carson will be there just for the little tap in to finish out the round. Double digits for Nouns will send us to the half. And we're into it here. Mirage, second half underway. Let's see what we got going. Mirage. It's looking dominant for Nouns. 10-5 is the scoreline. Double digits in the first half, and after what they did on Overpass, you gotta be worried if you're cheering for Mythic. But Flom's gonna try and start the party here early, and they've got a player sectioned under the balcony as well. So this piss round, it's off to a hot start. Another kill on the 6C in towards mid. I mean, this is looking devastating. Bomb gonna be planted. Nothing that can be done about that. And Cynic, well, he's gonna try and pull off a clip. He's got the first. Need about 4 more, and that's not going to happen. All onto Carson, and Carson is done and dusted. Commanding piss around for Mythic. That might get them back into this map.
That felt like the pissed around Nouns pulled off on their T-side. Explosive onto the A site, decisive in all their frags, and, well, Mythic just repeats exactly what they did. 6th round picked up, and definitely a shot in the arm for the Mythic squad. Looking over at Nouns, it looks like they don't necessarily want to force up into this one. Oh, now they will. A very late decision to go for the force buy, but it will end up yielding 3 Deagles, 2 5.7s, and about 6 pieces of util. We'll see how they decide to use that util and disperse it across the map. It looks like a pretty standard setup. 2-1-2 comes through in the early goings, though.
You gotta fear this, Deeg. 3 of them, to be exact, over on this Noun side. A little bit of fear got into you. Cynic not gonna be able to connect, though. A little shin shot on the Freak. The only bullet that actually does land. bwills gonna try this. 5.7, not so effective. So, can any of these pistols land? Well, doesn't seem to be the case. Carson finally finds himself one, but he's hemmed into the back, and there's no way he's getting away. Peppered down with bullets. George may just want to save his armor, to be quite frank, because this round, it's done.
It's over. Force buy yields nothing, and Mythic get an easy 7th round. George, you said he might want to save. I kind of agree, but he's not going to get anything. Okay, no, he gets the headshot on that. That's something. Likely all, and there you go. Twice trades him out immediately. Not sure if the frag was necessarily worth it. Probably would have been better to keep what he had, but either way, Mythic will get that clean round, and Nouns are still stalled out at 10. They're going to have to wait one more round in order to get that full-on buy.
It's gonna be crazy, the unarmored P250As here.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Hitting it now. William, where even is he? Ladder, I think.
There are 3 players in ladder. Yeah, he's there.
I mean, it's not impossible based on this posturing. Be weird, but this is a weird play call. 2 players in ladder, a 3rd now in. Window peek. Come on, go cat. Ah, it didn't really work. They didn't wait. Patience. Jedi must have patience. They didn't have any patience. But George, what is this? Where do you get 2 USP kills from, George? Okay. Give this man a gun and let him get out of there. He's got the bomb. Mythic should be fine. And indeed they are. But that is way more expensive than it needed to be.
That was weird. I don't even know how he got those frags. They just came in the blink of an eye. But at least good on George. Builds up a little money for himself, and that's enough for an op should he choose to buy it. And I mean, they can go for a double op. I don't think they will. George not typically using that, and he's going to go for the A1S6. He does get the big green in his hands. And let's see what he's got in store for us here on Mirage. We're already hyping up a little bit, talking about how good he can be on this defensive side. We'll see what type of control he takes here at mid. And it looks like Mythic aren't even going to challenge. In fact, they are going straight on for an A-execute here. All 5 players will be charging in, and George will have a lot of work to do, and he does none of it. Great entry from Freak.
Bob's back on the angle, but they got to worry about the palace play as well. So 6 is going to work his way into position more towards Ticket. But actually, Mythic might be resetting off of this. They're certainly going to go back for another salvo of utility. I know, it does seem like they're going to redouble their efforts in towards A. So that was a ripper of an entry out from Freak. That's what we'd love to see from him.
That's what he does best.
It's what he does best. And I think as the minute hits the clock timer here, nade's going to get thrown out. Now we're going to come on in. First shot missed for 60. May not get too many more opportunities. Wants to flash his way through the smoke. This is so bold. One and done, though. There's a gap in the smoke. 60 will try and find a kill back from. His teammates are close, but without a kill found early, there's a world where Nouns elect to pull the ripcord and save here. Oh, close up. Hate doesn't want to let them. He's got the bomb. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's got the bomb, John.
No way.
Fight back in is bold. But in a 2-on-2 now. Bomb control in the hands of the CTs. This is one spicy a meatball.
18 seconds.
They don't have a lot of time at all. They need to force this issue. The problem is Flom is the one who's close up and he's not got the health. Needs to back away. There's the angle. They drop Flom. Is there even time for Cooper? There is not time for Cooper, but the fight given. He'll get the kill, and that's the bailout. He didn't have enough seconds to actually plant that bomb, John, but a kill will guarantee the round for Mythic nonetheless.
Oh, man. The timing on the swing, perhaps a little ill-advised for bwills, but obviously Cooper, realizing that he was around that corner, was going to clear it anyway one way or another. And bwills unable to do the job.
I think he's making the assumption that because of the time, Cooper would have to grab the bomb and immediately sprint back.
Yeah.
So he's trying to swing to catch Cooper on the back step. But what he didn't realize is that Cooper's just swinging his massive nuts around the corner to get the final kill. Yeah.
Well, it was a great call by Cooper, I think, just to go for the fight instead of trying to force the issue with the bomb, which he might not have even gotten down anyway. Hate gonna come around the corner into underpass, and he has a peek. Doesn't realize that there's a player around the corner there. That is 60, who won't really even fight any further anyway. He's gonna fall back to connector. Goes for a shot towards top mid. Doesn't connect on that. Nade gets tossed forward, and that's a little bit chonky. At least if you're Freak, who goes down to 47 HP. And now bwills tosses a smoke on forward, and credit to Nouns. They're doing a really good job in the early goings of using what little utility they have to stave off the pushes from Mythic.
Time's gonna start to be an issue again, but it's only an issue if Mythic picks wrong. Alright, they've seen one player. 40 seconds on the clock. They've now seen two players towards B. They're still committing into this. Bomb's gonna go out. bwills finds the first. Uh-oh, they're stalling. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. This is gonna start to be a real issue. Rotation needs to be on here, but a couple quick kills means that it's just gonna be two remaining on the site. Now they're going in for the cleanup crew. Cynic could be a nuisance on this. 19 seconds. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. George, he's not close enough at hand. There's plenty of time still to get that bomb planted. I say plenty of time. There's about 8 seconds to spare. This is another round. And Mythic makes about as risky as it possibly could be. And Cooper with a miss. It's going to be costly. It's going to be a little rough, but it's going to be another round from Mythic, and we'll have an even scoreline.
Well, 5 in a row for Mythic, even though it hasn't been easy, and quite a few of those rounds along the way, they do tie up this scoreline. And the op was grabbed off the floor just in the nick of time, so it can be tossed back over to Cooper, who, as you mentioned, is typically at the top of the scoreboard for this Mythic squad. Had a slow start here, in fact, very slow in Mirage, but he's slowly working his way back up to that #1 spot. And it goes all the way back to last season, right? Over 17 maps played, 359 frags led the way there, and also best ADR at 79.1. Was their top ADR player map #1 too? At 84.9. Here comes Freakazoid going for another entry, potentially. Let's see if he finds it. No, it's Cooper. He's waiting over at Palace, takes down 60, and the follow-up gets found by Hayes. Mythic are on a tear, Mike.
This should be a save. This has to be a save. Nouns, they've had so much trouble sustaining an economy. They're really going to give this a look. What is there to find? You now revealed your presence. You got no control anywhere. Cynic's teammates have already bailed out.
You got to save, yeah.
He's got to back away. It feels like he's committed in. These kills are going to be so empty. Gonna hold the line. If he gets this first kill, should be a relatively strong position to save from. And he is able to do so. So these guns need to make it through for Nouns. Need to make it through. Fight fight onto the T side, I mean, it doesn't really get you much. So all 3 rifles do live, but the lead is lost to Mythic. 6 rounds in a row to start out this half.
Yeah, this is what happens when you pick Mirage. It's
not how it's supposed to happen, John. This is a very CT-sided map. Neither side can get a defense together, man.
Mirage is weird, man. This is the type of stuff that can go down. It can be very puggy, and that's just the nature of it because it's played so very much, and you do get those T sides that can be very potent on both ends. So let's see if Mythic can keep it rolling here. And if we do get map number 3, which will be on Nuke, I think that is anyone's game because both teams don't play it that much, but when they do, they have their successes. 22nd round of play. Nouns trying to get their first round of the half. So far, it's been 6 in a row for Mythic. As Cooper spots out a player, can't connect on the shot, though.
Really struggling to say defense. The flashbang's good. The execution, not so much. George can't connect. 60's here for the cleanup. Knows he has a player section out, but he leaves himself so vulnerable to the Palace play. bwills wasn't there in time. So even numbers. But look at the position for Twice.
Oh, no, yeah.
He's gone all the way through the B site, but likewise, it's a flank on a flank, and there's going to be Cooper down for the count. Now if they find the bomb, well, Twice's position may not much matter. Flom knows he has to watch for this, but he's not got the health for a sustained fight, so either way, it's not easy. There's the angle, there's the kill. Big one for Flom, and Twice through the smoke. This is getting real spicy. Carson should have a pretty good idea of both players' position, but knowing and executing are different things. He's trying to dodge the utility, and that'll leave him exposed to Flom. What a recovery there for Mythic. A massive round to win.
That really could not have gone better for Mythic in that situation, right? Twice coming in from jungle. The smoke fade to his advantage. Literally could have taken even longer to fire off that shot because his position was completely unknown by his opponent. And then Flom, patience, right? Realized that the flank was on. Waited some more, and then hits the headshot. So both those situations happening simultaneously, and only Carson left. Like you mentioned, information was there, but he could not hit the shot. Cynic does get the opener here, so finally a 5v4 advantage for the Noun squad, which has been pretty hard for them to find here on their CT side.
The real trick's been sustaining them.
Yeah.
And now they have for a solid 15 seconds. It's already better than they've done in most. Not a lot of utility on this one, so they're going to need those crosshairs up. Well, mid control conceded. Mythic have a lot of options for where they want to. If they could recover this round, I mean, this is looking like a map 3, but now it's going to put their foot down here, and now still got a game on our hands. Cynic looks like he's going to be first contact. Actually, 60 with the AWP. There's a flick. All warming up would be a very nice sign here for Nouns. Coming ramp. 60's just got a firing range. Resets, shot, drop, reset. Now you're in trouble. Mythic just down to 2. Hate. Barn and Bilby first forward. Catches the player. Cynic hurt him thunderfooting through, but still couldn't get the kill. All on to Twice now in a 1v4, though. Section out, spotted. Carson should hold this line, and well, they're giving him fights. They don't need to give him fights. It's about the only way to allow him back into the round is to give him isolated fights, and they continue to do so.
Oh my
Twice
gosh.
connects.
What?
Twice brings it down to the clutch. Nouns are fumbling this one, but with 9 seconds to go, Twice has to race onto A, and he got it. 60 didn't realize he was coming back his direction. What an absolute fumble from the Nouns. Twice in a 1v4. They just had to not fight. All they had to do was not fight.
Like, my hands are on my head.
He could not have won that round.
No.
If they didn't fight him. Purely on time, he could not have won that round if he had to go forth and try and find them himself.
And 60 didn't need to be wandering around in the open either. He
Well,
could have
so
ducked
that
himself
at
in.
least is just him thinking it was B and thinking he needs to foot race him to actually be in a position to play the B post plant.
Still.
That's that when you have 3-on-1, right? And you've got every egress from the angle held, you don't have to peek. You don't have to swing.
Ah, boy. That
My
was
goodness.
just...
Really nice play from Twice. Don't want to take away from that. Incredible play from Twice. Just one of those situations where every great play requires the other team make errors, and that was a spectacular collapse. Incredible play from Tyler Weiss, though.
Yeah, he had to hit the shots, right? But still, I mean, Nouns absolutely should not have pushed into that angle. It was ridiculous what they were doing. So definitely giving that round away to Mythic, and now they have to make up for it. And there's 60, opener found with the A1S. They forced up into this round to try and get something going. But now 60 is going to get dropped by Cooper. Insta trade. Mythic have control of mid as a result. Cynic going to grab the A1S off the ground. He peeks around the corner and hits the shots on the Cooper, who is trying to line up some util. Flom going for the trade, does immediately find it, but takes so much damage in the engagement, going down to only 9 HP. So, still in doubt here for Mythic. And around that Nouns only brought a couple of rifles into, but at least those rifles were able to do work in the hands of both Sixy and Cynic.
Yeah, heck of a way to make up for the blunder in the last. But it's going to require some heroics from bwills. He's so alone, especially with George pushing into Palace. These rotators are going to take eons to get through. 40 seconds on the clock. It's time for some snappy shooting from the Nouns side. bwills about to be under a lot of pressure. Oh, he spotted the first. The shot doesn't land. Catches the pillar instead of the kill. And even if it had been a hand shot, it would have found Flom. He was so low. But bwills will take out Twice. He's being wrapped upon. He's eliminated. Bomb going to go down 2-on-2 in the retake. A rifle found for Carson, but a bomb to defend here for Mythic. It's a prime situation. And they've still got some utility as well. Freak could smoke something off. Give himself a bit more comfort. Choose to. George eliminated Carson. Got the rifle, he's got the armor, and he might have an idea of both players' position. He knows he has Flom, and a bullet will find him, but Flom's faster on the trigger.
I mean, Mythic are just pulling out all the stops here on their T side, and they're trying to replicate what Nouns did to them on Overpass, which is pick up every single round after the half switch. Timeout called almost certainly by Nouns at this point. They have not gotten one for themselves, and that round by Twice, it's still on my mind. I cannot believe what he was able to pull off in that 1v4 and how they gave him the fights. That could be the turning point in this match, unless Nouns have something to say about it, and if they do, it needs to be right now, right here in round number 25.
Craziness. A 10-5 half.
Wild. And then Flom wins that clutch with 9 HP. Like,
it shouldn't. There's no world. Back-to-back clutches required. There is no world where we should be in this moment, but we are. Whatever slim probability of this timeline occurring, that's where we find ourselves. Mythic are looking to defy expectations and take us through to nuke. First kill going to go in for 60. He's got the off back up, and he's holding court in mid. That'll set up Cynic for a peek, but... Oh, can Cynic get away? He does. So man advantage maintained. That position can be so risky, but the underpass player wasn't in position yet to contest. So Cynic can now reroute. Hold for hate. And they're going to send the op back towards A, which is a good read, because look at where the T's are headed.
They're headed
to
the
there's a
nice shot.
There's a second as well. George goes walkabout. George dies alone. And now a man advantage back for Mythic. Somehow, Nouns just are completely incapable of hanging on to these.
It's been 3-man advantages in a row, Mike, and you're right. They just cannot find a way to close them out. Twice and Flom are unnoticed, so it's still a chance here, and there's Twice taken out by bwills, so it makes it 3v3, but it's a post-plant situation. bwills exposing himself at the top of the smoke, does connect onto Freak. Since got an easy one on Flom, and this one should be under control for Nouns, unless Hate gets the 1v3. It was Twice in a similar situation before, and there we go. bwills is dropped. Hate has the bomb plant to his advantage, tosses a flash on over, looking to win the fight against Carson, but tosses out the util at a very inopportune time, and Carson does indeed shut it down. No heroics for Mythic this time, and finally Nouns are on the board here in this second half.
Finally. My goodness, after some miscues, misfires, that one almost looked like it could be off the rails again as Hate had the angle in the 3v1. They make it happen. Carson forces the issue on the fight. This time it works out for Nouns. They are only at a 3-round deficit, despite this incredible run back from Mythic. There's a world where this goes the distance. Mythic need a gut punch, need a dagger, need a rally right here. This is their moment. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Bank accounts actually run dry for Mythic. So if they do lose this round, it feels like we will indeed go the distance. 60. Posted up here into the apartments towards B. Should someone show face, at least have a crack at an opening frag, which hasn't been the problem for Nouns. It's been closing out the rounds after getting that opener. That has been the issue. 60 continues to wait. Mythic holding their ground. George gets a little impatient, tosses an 8 on forward, doesn't do any damage. Freak gets some information off of that and realizes he'll have to clear close. Mythic, in the meantime, still have not decided what bomb site they're going to hit here, Mike. Oh.
Molly burning George. Stays calm in that moment. Trusts his teammate to keep him alive. But they're going to test 60 on the AWP. This is about to get real interesting. This is about to get real weird. 60 dodge on the first. He's going to have to fall away. Gives it the angle. Now the excuse is going to start to come in. bwills is here to support. They take out Freak. That was the first jump. 60 wants to get back into this. It works.
Oh, what
it
a
works.
play.
He's jumping for the shot. Man thinks he's cold. Zera, a TK on the other side of the map. But if they can drop this, and they do indeed, it's over. Purely on time. Flom can do nothing about this. He'll try. But he will fail. A 12th on the board for Nouns. The economy finally stabilizing. And better yet, they get the next round against Pistols.
Wow, that was a bold play from 60 to go back into that fight into the apartments. Nice movement to get onto the platform, then peeks around, finds the frag, and, well, bwills is there to support after. 60 ends up going down to get 2 more. Good Molotov tossed on forward, even though it means that George is down for the count. It is enough to hold Mythic at bay. And now Nouns, like you mentioned, do have their economic footing. 60 hits the jump from the window towards Cat, looking for the opener again, and there it is. Cooper drops, and it finds the follow-up underneath the smoke and window and does get traded out. But the thing is, I think Nouns have this under their control.
Yeah, until they don't. Until they don't. I've seen too many of these rounds go off the rails yet to quite trust them. But twice, this would be even more incredible than the last clip.
There's your P250 clip, Mike, maybe.
Yeah, right? This would be truly extraordinary. They are fighting him because that is their favorite thing to do, and so they will give up another kill that they don't need to before this round ends. Just gotta keep things interesting for me. All right. 1 round separates these teams. It's going to be an investment here for Mythic, but it's not going to be grand. The utility will be limited. They won't have everything that they want. I mean, they've got 3 players with smoke flash, 1 with a smoke nade, nothing on Flom. It's not perfect, John.
No, it's not. And with this type of util, you can't really fake much. You just have to dedicate it towards your proper hit, which means that most of the information you're going to be gaining is going to be on dry peaks around the corner, trying to see where Nouns might be postured, likely indicating that Nouns would get that opening frag unless you get some really nutty stuff going. So my guess is that Mythic might just go for the straight execute in the first 30 seconds or so. We'll see what they decide. But this is not the best. They've had a lot of success towards the A site. I don't feel like that's the direction they're going to go based upon where they're looking right now. Looks like they might want to go for some mid control perhaps early on. We'll see. Yeah, it is going to be 3 players towards A, and there's Freak. He's already lined up. They want to let him loose. Actually, A's not a bad hit.
No, not right now. It's the op they have to contend with. The flashbangs aren't there. Freak, goodbye. The bomb spotted now. Aspen baited. Aggression up top. Oh, Flom gonna catch Cynic looking the wrong direction. Cooper's been taken out. And Flom, well, he had a moment. Couldn't quite capitalize. The 2v3. The site is lost, but the bomb's not quite here. So the cross is going to be a thing of some challenge. That's a huge kill for Hate. Whew. That's a huge kill for Hate. Hate and Twice. Those guys, the young guys on the roster, they're trying to make this happen. That's a nice nade. They're waiting for Carson to get around towards the ramp, and bwills needs to resist the urge to fight ahead of him. Twice is taking the initiative. Slinking in towards Sandwich. Gonna chill out. Time is short, but they do have kits. They do have a smoke as well. Twice on the angle. Great predictive play here. And that's all the utility gone. So now bwills just has to get the kills. And he doesn't realize Twice has slipped out, taking the initiative there, making it happen. 2 more huge kills in the post plant for Tyler Weiss.
Twice is a monster. I mean, he had an interesting first half where he kept on slipping through the cracks and finding frags, but the rest of his team wasn't really up to the task to support him. This time, he just explodes into this second half. 29 frags, leads the charge. Hate as well has been really integral with 24. And Mythic, well, I mean, they're looking pretty strong right now. 15-13, one more round, and this one's over. Now he's going to go for the aggressive push. George spots that information, but he can't pull the trigger quickly enough before the player gets behind cover. Flom in the underpass. Cooper misses a shot. An opportunity here for Nouns to get the opener, but both teams struggling to get those finishing blows. Flom continues to fight here underpass, but it's going to be all Nouns here all of a sudden. 3 frags come through almost simultaneously, and Cooper and Hate are left scratching their heads wondering what just happened. Hate does manage to connect with the nade frag on the George, then gets the follow-up onto 60. This one is not over yet.
Certainly not. Certainly not. The bomb section out and towards mid, though. Do they realize they still got it isolated? Oh, there's the spot. bwills saw Cooper just a little too chonky to hide around that box. And now they can set up on the C4. This makes life a lot easier for Nouns. Hate. This is his moment. His Twice moment. Try and make something out of nothing. Should be no way. There should be no way. But we've said that in a lot of rounds.
Yes.
Somehow there's always a way. Playing the pixel, that's bwills, making sure as soon as he spots the player, the spam goes through. That's nicely done. If you don't know, it's a tiny gap. Tiny gap in that box.
Very tiny.
And as soon as he covers up the pixel, you know you've got the lineup for the spam.
Well, we are going the distance here. Mythic got one more map point here until we head to OT. And Nouns, on the other hand, I think George can upgrade himself to an A1S, but he probably wants the body armor and the kit instead, and he goes for that with full util, so might as well settle for that from us. And here we go, down to the wire, and look at the buy-up for Mythic. It is absolutely disastrous given the circumstances. 3 Tech 9s, a Mac 10, and a Galil. I mean, last time they had something like this, we saw a quick pop, or last time we saw a buy-up like this, we saw a quick pop towards the B site. Maybe that's what Mythic will decide to do again here. Not ideal. Neither is that util. They're going to toss it around. It looks like Freak's going to get the majority of it. He's already going to toss a smoke on forward towards mid. And in fact, Mythic, again, posturing towards A. Bomb on Freak's back. He might want to drop that for his teammate because he needs to go for those entries.
No, the Mac 10 one would assume.
Yeah.
It's actually one of their better guns in this moment. This is going to be straight up A pop, A play. Posturing's interesting here. Nouns aren't quite fully committed into the defense here. Cynic under the balk. George providing oversight. The ops on the other side of the map. It's not a bad site to hit for Mythic. If they can overwhelm the player under balk, it's real interesting. Smoke to provide some cover for Cynic. A boost up for the window fight. No one is there. But they're going to work Twice into jungle here. 54 seconds. With a deep angle in apartments, the market player is going to start to float to adjust in towards mid. It's a lot of information. No, they're not. They're not. They're sending bwills back in towards B. Now the flashes come through. Now the tip-off is here. Counter utility comes out to provide some space to operate from. Cynic gets one, but he's overwhelmed. And George is down. Uh-oh. This isn't looking great. It's all falling apart. It's left to 6C in a 1v4. The bomb planted. Pistols, who cares? Mythic want a third. They want a third map. They want to go the distance, and they're about to do so. 6C finds one. 3 more kills required of him. And time dwindling. He does have the kit. He does have the util, but he's got to get going now. Util will start to be dumped. The flank is on. He's been spotted. It's just a matter of time now. And Cooper will put the bullets in. We're going the distance. We're getting 3 maps here.